Today we are working Psalm 30. In Psalm Magic, we frequently hear of people using Psalm 30 for patience, to give gratitude for your blessings, for the healing of sickness, for protection from enemies, to know the divine will, to make friends with time, and to bring what we need when we need it. We also hear about people using this psalm for deliverance from dire circumstances. And I think that's not a bad idea for us today. Any kind of dire circumstance that you need to be protected from or delivered from, we're going to use Psalm 30 to help get that taken care of. The way we work Psalm Magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take the psalm that we're working and we speak it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is known as an incantation. When we've finished with our incantation, we go back through the psalm and we search for hidden, often called occult, meanings that lie behind each verse. And that searching for, finding, and applying what we find to the situation that we've brought to the psalm is the means by which we take the magic seeds that are inherent in each of these verses and plant them in the depths of our mind, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm number 30. I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. O Lord my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down to the pit. Sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. For his anger endureth but a moment, in his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And in my prosperity I said, I shall never be moved. Lord, by thy favor, thou hast made my mountain to stand strong. Thou didst hide thy face, and I was troubled. I cried to thee, O Lord, and unto the Lord I made supplication. What profit is there in my blood when I go down to the pit? Shall the dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth? Hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord, be thou my helper. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth, and girded me with gladness, to the end that my glory may sing praise to thee, and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks unto thee forever. The first verse states, I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. The Lord, the tetragrammaton for us in Psalm Magic, is a symbol for the one power, the one source, the one substance in all the universe. There is but one. There's only one force, and since there's only one, there's nothing that can oppose it. When we orient and align ourselves with this one force, our success is assured, and we want to avoid the temptation of thinking of the Lord as being some deity outside of us, and instead realize that we are a direct extension of this force. I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up. We are looking at this as being already a done deal. So whatever our problem is, the Lord, this force, has already lifted us out of it, and we are starting with the gratitude. That's a very smart thing to do when working any kind of magic. If you go right to the gratitude, right to the acknowledgement that it is done, then your waiting is limited, if not completely eliminated. You eliminate your waiting by going right into the gratitude that it is already done, and affirming, acknowledging that it is done. And hast not made my foes to rejoice over me. In this case, the foes would be whatever the problem is, whatever the perceived danger is, whatever this dire circumstance is. Any part of that would be considered your foes. O Lord my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me. And this formula is common in the Psalms because it works. Many people say, well, if this force is for us, like you keep saying, and this force is omnipotent and omnipresent and omniscient and all-loving, why doesn't it just fix it? Why do I have to go through these things? Well, because we've been given freedom. We've been given free will as a collective and as individuals. Therefore, it's up to you to get the ball rolling. You want help, you have to ask for it, and you have to get your mind straight. You have to understand the creative power of your mind, and that if there are things in your life that you do not like and you want help to overcome those, you have to focus and tether your mind to the solution rather than allowing it to keep creating the problem. When we say that, we're not trying to blame you for the problem, but we are trying to help you understand that your mind will contribute to either the solution or the furthering of the problem, depending on how it's being used. It already says, "O Lord, my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me." It's already done. It's already done. And when we can get that into our deep mind, it's done. I'm already saved from this. This thing is already healed. It's over. The more we can do that, the better. O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. Thou hast kept me alive, that I should not go down in the pit. If left to our own devices, we tend to be self-destructive. It's making it dire here. Left to my own devices, I'd be dead. And maybe that's true. But the point being that if left to our own ego mind, our self-will is that of self-destruction. And so the idea that we recognize that and that we want to pivot, we want to turn away from that and turn toward the solution and away from the problem is wonderful. And we want to acknowledge ourselves for doing that, for recognizing that, for seeing that. Sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. I frequently see the saints as being factory-installed thought forms. Our soul, as created by the infinite, comes with its own factory-installed thought forms, if you will. And those are called saints in the Psalms. And these thought forms can't die. They're always going to be there. They are always available to us. But just like everything else, they're subject to our free will. They're subject to our understanding of them being there and our willingness to ask them to activate. It's like having a program in your computer. It doesn't do much good if you don't execute it. They do play in the background, but until we are willing to press execute, it's as if they're not there. So now we're acknowledging them. Sing unto the Lord, O ye saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. So I want to have all of these divine thoughts, which are the truth of who I am, that are free from the ego, to acknowledge and sing praise and gratitude so that I can feel lifted up and understand that this is already within me to do. This is already something that's been given me, but now I'm recognizing this power. And as I recognize this power, I can utilize this power. And this power has always been within us. Very similar to Dorothy's shoes in The Wizard of Oz. She'd always had the power to go home, but she wouldn't have believed it had she not learned those lessons. And the same thing with us. Now we have to go right into the understanding that we have the power and we need to click those heels. We need to execute this program. For his anger endureth but a moment. In his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. This is telling us not to judge by appearances. The infinite's never angry at you, but it can appear as though the infinite's angry at us when something bad happens. And it's very, very tempting if you have any sense of a higher power to point the finger and say, why'd you do this? Or why'd you let this happen? And it can take it. You can do that. But it's not that the infinite is angry at us. And it's not that the problem is as big to the infinite as it is to us. But it can seem that way. Remember that all of this, whatever this is temporary at best because it's just an apparition. It's just an appearance. And if you don't buy into the appearance, if you don't allow yourself to get hypnotized by it, then you can easily overcome it. And it's gone by the sunrise. And in my prosperity, I said, I shall never be moved. It's giving you the formula for having that prosperity. And what we're talking about with prosperity here is the freedom from whatever this problem is in abundance. So prosperity is peace of mind. It is financial wealth. It is health. It is self-expression. It is healthy relationships. It's the opposite of whatever this dire circumstance is. And it's giving us the formula. If you aren't moved, then your prosperity is assured. And not being moved means I'm not going to judge by appearances. I'm not going to be moved. If something in the world says, you're screwed, look at this, look at that, you're not going to be moved by it. You say, it doesn't mean anything to me. That's just the passing away of an old thought form. I don't believe it. I'm not going to give it any importance. Lord, by thy favor, thou hast made my mountain to stand strong. The favor of the infinite is just the ability to create you. You were created out of love. It was an act of love. And the infinite will never stop loving you. You are its beloved child. So that's the favor. And it's through that love that everything that's important in your life will stand strong. But because of the freedom that we have, it can appear as though, and this is the next phrase, the infinite hides its face from us. When the infinite hides its face from us, it's as if all of our blessings are gone and we're all by ourselves and there's nothing good for us. That does not come from the infinite, and that is also incorrect. It doesn't really happen. But if we turn away from the infinite and we allow the ego to rule, it's as if the face of the infinite disappeared completely. It feels that way. But the good news is that you're always just one thought away from turning back and recognizing the truth. So it says, and I was troubled. Anytime we're troubled, a good rule of thumb is to say, how am I believing in appearances? How am I believing what the ego is telling me? Rather than simply turning and facing the infinite and allowing it to be taken care of for me. I cried to thee, O Lord, and unto the Lord I made supplication. It's reminding us the part that we're responsible for is asking. We have to remind ourselves, oh yeah, there's an infinite intelligence that is the one true force of all the universe that doesn't want anything but perfection in my life. So anything that doesn't look like that perfection, my responsibility is recognizing that's not the will of the infinite and turning to the infinite and asking for help, acknowledging that we're off track somehow. What profit is there in my blood when I go down to the pit? Shall the dust praise thee? Shall it declare thy truth? It's the tendency to bargain. It's the tendency to say, well, maybe the reason why it's been so hard up until now is because I wasn't placating the infinite. I wasn't convincing the infinite. I wasn't dangling a carrot before the infinite's ego. Don't you want another person singing your praises? Isn't that what makes you tick? So just recognizing, even in the midst of this spell, the tendency of the ego to say, wait a minute, the infinite's just like all the other egos in the world. It needs to be inflated. It needs to be thanked. It needs to have its self-importance stroked. Obviously, none of that's true and none of that's necessary. And in fact, those kinds of ideas delay your progress. Hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord, be thou my helper. That's really all you need. You can take that phrase and memorize it and repeat it all day long. Anytime you start to get afraid, anytime you start to get upset or believe in appearances and are worried that your spell isn't working, you can reorient your mind very quickly with, hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord, be thou my helper. Mercy simply means solving the problem. That's the magical understanding of what that word mercy means. It means solving this, whatever we brought to the psalm. It's the answering of the prayer, it's the manifestation of the spell, it's the solving of the problem. So hear, O Lord, and have mercy upon me. Lord, be thou my helper. Thou hast turned for me my mourning into dancing. Thou hast put off my sackcloth and girded me with gladness. This is the natural tendency of the infinite. This isn't just some special favor, this one time. This is the constant and everlasting tendency of the infinite for its beloved child, who is you. To turn all of your mourning into dancing, into joy, and put off your sackcloth. The sackcloth is anytime we feel like we need penance because we've been so bad. And so we can prove to the infinite how penitent we are by punishing ourselves. And we do this sometimes very unconsciously. Those are the worst versions of this, is when we don't even realize we're doing it. Because when it's out of our consciousness, we believe it's happening to us. But the tendency to punish ourselves because we feel so bad and so guilty about ourselves. We believe all the lies that the world tells us about ourselves and one another. And so that sackcloth is a symbol of all of the punishment that we heap upon ourselves. But the infinite says, let's stop that. Now, if you turn to me, this is the infinite speaking, if you turn to me and you ask me what my will is, we're going to get that sackcloth off of you right now. Definitely not my will for you. We're going to toss that into the pit. And all of that mourning and all of this worry and all of that upset, let's just transform it, turn it around into joy for you. Girded me with gladness, it says. So you are fortified with gladness. With gladness. That's the infinite's will for you. Doesn't that make you happy? Knowing that this is all the infinite wants for you, is being glad, to have your problem solved, to not suffer. To the end that my glory may sing praise to thee and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks unto thee forever. Now the infinite wants us to be glad. Not because it needs it. That's a misunderstanding. The reason why the infinite wants us to be glad is because it knows it works. It knows that will take us out of any problem, that will heal any problem, any sickness, any poverty, any problem whatsoever. Whatever you've brought to the psalm, gladness is going to heal it. And it knows that, and it wants that for us. And so when we acknowledge that, we say, to that end, that my glory may sing praise to thee, and not be silent. O Lord my God, I will give thanks unto thee forever. Remember that forever means right now. The only place forever can exist is the present moment. There is no future. There is no past, not in the infinite mind. The infinite mind only understands eternity. The only place eternity has a presence in this world is in the now, in the present moment. I will give thanks unto thee forever as I will give thanks unto thee right now. And I'm not stopping because it works. This is important for you to experience when you do this. And I can already feel this thing turning around, whatever this is. I already feel safer. I already feel healed. I already know things are working out for me. And it's through this gladness that I'm going to continue experiencing that because I'm doing it now in the moment. So you just keep coming back to this psalm every day, once a day, until you get a sense of peace and certainty about whatever the situation is. And when you get that sense that it's being solved, it's being taken care of, regardless of what you see in the physical world, you get that, I call it a click inside. This spell is cast. I'm not worried about this at all. I know this is coming to its perfect conclusion. Once you get that understanding, that's a sign to you from your deep mind that your spell has been cast and you don't need to work on it anymore. In fact, don't. Just move off of it. Forget all about it, let it happen, and move on to something else. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Until next time, blessed be.